Hey everyone, welcome back to the VSO Gun Channel. It's great to have you here as always. Thank you for tuning in. And I've got some breaking news here for you today. But first, I want to say thank you to all of you who made some noise about the fact that YouTube is trying to change their policies on firearms related content. They've made some really nonsensical changes that don't have any basis in law, as well as they're retroactive. Really not a good look. And when we in the creator space ask you guys to go out and do something for us, even as small as making a post on Twitter or something like that, know that it's for a good reason and it has a definitive impact. And that's what we're talking about here today. We've been saying that these changes are going to happen, but hot off the press, we have a message from the House of Representatives Judiciary Committee expressly asking YouTube, what the heck are you doing? That and more after we hear a quick word from today's sponsor. Quick service announcement for all of y'all. We have now 2 discount codes prepped up for you guys over at Mission First Tactical. One is for the all day everything stuff, everything from their backpacks to their drinkware to the holsters to even the new translucent magazines that they just came out with. Really like the purple ones, by the way. And then a second code that is for everything that is getting ready to go away, like 50 or 60% off in many cases. So you can find all that information over at the affiliates page, and special thanks to Mission First Tactical for making today's video possible. So what I have put up here on screen is a letter from the Congress of the United States House of Representatives Committee on the Judiciary. And this is to a Mr. Daniel Donovan, which, gathering this, looks like one of the attorneys for Alphabet, which is, you know, Alphabet, Google, YouTube, you know, all that sort of crap, right? The Committee of the Judiciary and Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of Federal Government are conducting oversight on how and to what extent the executive branch has coerced or colluded with companies and other intermediaries to censor Americans' speech. Read between the lines on this one. To develop effective legislation, such as the possible enactment of new statutory limits on executive branch's ability to work with big tech to restrict the circulation of content and deplatform users, the committee and the select subcommittee must first understand how and to what extent the executive branch coerced and colluded with companies and other intermediaries to censor speech. As part of this oversight, on February 15, 2023, the efforts to obtain a voluntary compliance of your client Alphabet, the committee issued a subpoena for relevant documents with return date of March 23rd. The subpoena compels Alphabet to produce communications between Alphabet and the executive branch, internal Alphabet communications, discussing communications from the executive branch, and the Alphabet communications with third parties that may have been working with the executive branch, in addition to other key information. In light of YouTube's recent announcement that it will be changing its content moderation policies on June 18, 2024, to further censor content relating to firearms and other constitutionally protected Second Amendment activity, we write to remind Alphabet that the subpoena's obligation is continuing in nature, and to request that you produce documents relating to this new policy change. Translation: Alphabet, Google, YouTube, House of Representatives. But in all seriousness, we have been talking about this for a long period of time. We know that there are certain powers that lean on these companies to do their bidding. Especially, we know that with the election coming up, there's going to be hands placed on scales, and it seems to me like more like trucks, or I suppose they would be EVs, driven onto scales. Jim Jordan and the Judiciary Committee just told Google, we want all the communications you've had with the White House, and we want all the communications that they've sent you, and we want all of the communications that you've had crosstalk with anybody else that works in big tech that might possibly be working with the White House or any facet of the executive branch. So that's any of the executive agencies, name them. And this is one of the reasons I said in my previous video, YouTube, you gotta stop censoring content like this. You can't just have these arbitrary, politically motivated ideas about what content can and can't be on your platform. You have said in court that you are a public forum. You are a platform. You are not a publisher. You've claimed that you are not a publisher and that you should have the protections because you're currently being sued by somebody who's suing you for the content that is on the platform or that you served up to them. You're defending yourself by saying that you are a platform. And I think that you should have Section 230 protections. However, in order to keep those Section 230 protections, you got to quit doing this crap. The House of Representatives wants to know who's driving the bus. Is there any inkling of any executive fingers in the cookie jar? Or is this you guys doing it yourself? And I'm not sure which one will go worse for you. So it is my suggestion to YouTube, roll your content policies as they relate to firearms back like 10, 15 years, right? Basically, the content policy should say something like this as it relates to firearms. Don't do illegal crap. That's it. Recent reporting and other publicly available information suggests that YouTube's decision to change its firearm policy may have been influenced by government officials and third parties interested in suppressing certain Second Amendment related content. Then it talks about Alvin Bragg and how he went on to praise the YouTube policy change. Given that YouTube has censored First Amendment protected speech as a result of government agencies' requests and demands in the past, these revelations raise serious concerns about whether and to what extent the executive branch is working with third parties and other intermediaries to coerce and or collude with YouTube to censor lawful speech regarding the Second Amendment and firearms. The committee's subpoena compels Alphabet to produce communications between Alphabet and other entities discussing content moderation, which includes communications and records involving, referring, or relating to Alphabet's interactions with the executive branch and other entities regarding changes to its firearms content policy. We write to inform you that documents concerning Alphabet's interactions with the executive branch and third parties that may be working with the executive branch relating to YouTube's new firearms policy are responsive to the committee's subpoena. We ask that you take all appropriate steps to identify and produce these responsive documents expeditiously, and we remind you that the committee's subpoena imposes a legal obligation that is continuing in nature. Accordingly, please begin producing responsive documents and communications concerning YouTube's new firearms policy in accordance with the committee's February 15th, 2023 subpoena as soon as possible, but no later than 10 a.m. on July 2nd. Signed, Congressman Jim Jordan, Chairman. So yeah, YouTube just got called to the mat. Thank you guys very much for making noise on this. Let's continue to ratchet it up because I have a feeling that they might have to rethink this thing because now they're going to be under the microscope. Again, I will reiterate that all of the changes to YouTube's firearms content policy moderate, hide, or ban outright content that is 100% legal in the United States. Nothing that they change in their content policy deals with anything that is illegal. That's all I got for you guys tonight. Have a good evening. I'll see you tomorrow.